To look your kids in the eye and to tell them that you've been lying to them. I've never lied to my kids about anything, but I lied to them about this. So I told them, I said, I lied to you guys.
Liver King loses it after Joe Rogan reveals Eshwak King truth. The instant that headline flashed across social media, the self-proclaimed monarch of raw meat began to come apart in front of millions. Yesterday, he was happily chewing frozen liver for the camera, insisting that a little sunshine on sensitive skin could replace modern medicine. Today, he is live on stream, voice trembling, accusing unnamed critics of twisting his life's mission. Viewers have seen influencers meltdown before, yet this collapse feels personal, as if a campfire storyteller has forgotten the plot mid-sentence. Even devoted fans paused the video, wondering whether the 9 ancestral principles they memorized were just clever marketing. Within hours, commentary channels queue up, skeptics sharpen their microphones, and the myth of the modern caveman braces for a reality check. The spark comes from Joe Rogan, whose casual honesty has humbled giants inside the octagon and out. Mid-conversation, he leans toward the mic and says, almost offhand, nobody reaches their mid-40s with that kind of definition without serious help. 14 words spoken in Joe's gravelly baritone crack open an empire. Fans clip the quote, plaster it on memes, and launch #ancestralfib. By morning, analysts dissect shoulder acne, vein patterns, and leaked invoices. Supplement companies quietly pull coupon codes, gym owners stash excess inventory, and late-night hosts joke about synthetic strength. Even casual viewers who never tasted raw liver now care about honesty and fitness. Because the story is no longer macros, it is trust. Sponsors demand statements. Affiliates fire off worried emails, and a once untouchable persona discovers how quickly online loyalty can flip. Cornered, Liver King switches to apology mode, firing up his ring light for what he labels a raw confession. The lighting is dim, and his eyes glisten with what he calls real tears.
But it keeps happening, and every time it's scary, and every time you think, oh my God, I could lose, but what if my kid wasn't here?
I'm embarrassed and ashamed, he repeats, hoping 5 words can erase years of curated content. He reminds everyone that before Instagram he was well off and anonymous, hinting that wealth somehow changes the moral stakes. Then comes the admission. Yes, I have used performance enhancers and I'm still on them. For a heartbeat, the chat fills with heart emojis. Audiences love redemption arcs, yet excitement fades fast when viewers spot product tubs strategically framed in the shot. The well-timed pauses feel rehearsed. The apology more like damage control. Reaction videos pop up within minutes, replaying each tearful line and asking whether sorrow can be genuine when the backdrop looks like an infomercial set. Shock turns to outrage once the focus shifts to his teenage sons, who appeared in countless clips downing raw organs while chanting Dad's ancestral code. Fans who once applauded now replay footage of the kids gagging on spleen, splicing it against Dad's confession, and questioning whether minors became props in a brand campaign. Parenting forums erupt with threads labeled kid-friendly. Former supporters post long apologies for cheering, while children swallowed raw snacks on camera. Psychologists on daytime TV warn that trust ruptures in families can echo for decades. Liver King assures followers he has come clean with his children, yet the boys vanish from new uploads. Their sudden absence speaks louder than any scripted promise, and viewers realize the price of a chiseled torso may have been childhood itself. Next comes a plea for empathy, late-night retellings of hospital trips where, he says, his sons turned blue from severe allergies, only to be saved by ancestral living. For a moment, the internet holds its breath. Parental fear is universal. Then journalists find nothing beyond routine medical visits. Doctors remind everyone that diet alone rarely solves life-threatening reactions, and eagle-eyed commenters note the boys still carry emergency medicine in recent footage. Sympathy cools, replaced by suspicion that the sick kid's narrative is another marketing shield.
And I'll never lie to you guys again. And, the reason why the mind is such a deadly weapon. Because once I got myself into this, I convinced myself that this had nothing to do with my message. I convinced myself that, who the f*** am I cheating? Like, I'm not in a competitive sport. Who am I cheating? And I would say, like, one of the most hurtful things is, where maybe I did some of the most damage, is I convinced myself that the 15-year-old boy, my kids, these guys, they don't need to hear this message.
Supporters ask why a miracle cure requires backup medication. Answers never surface, and credibility keeps slipping away. With narratives spiraling, mental health professionals chime in. a licensed psychologist uploads a detailed analysis titled Mirror Maze Mindset, slowing his interviews frame by frame. She points to tiny smiles when he mentions wealth, eye flicks at awkward questions, rapid blinking when referencing his boys. Her conclusion: years of acting out a hyper-masculine persona while secretly relying on outside boosts might have blurred his grip on reality. Millions watch and speculate. Some diagnose extreme vanity, others suspect a genuine disconnect from truth. Meanwhile, the subject of all this speculation keeps posting backyard workout reels, shouting that criticism is just background noise. Observers notice his grin twitch at odd moments, as though a mask slips, and realize that louder protests only make the silence underneath more obvious. Then comes talk of prison. During a late stream, he thunders that law enforcement divisions might drag him away, vowing no cell can silence the primal message. Legal experts online chuckle. Exaggerating nutrition claims is a civil headache, not a cause for handcuffs. Still, the drama thrills a shrinking group of loyalists who adore martyr stories. Veteran bodybuilders respond with split-screen clips, flexing natural physiques while joking that raw liver did not carve those shoulders. The pharmacist did. One video tops 1 million likes, pushing his reputation even lower. Former collaborators quietly crop him out of thumbnails, knowing association has become a liability. Each playful roast chips at credibility until casual gym-goers roll their eyes at any mention of ancestral anything. While debates rage about injections, a fresh theory goes viral: implanted abs. Viewers stitch slow-motion clips showing his midsection remains flawlessly etched no matter the angle or motion.
Before social media, I was rich and anonymous, and after social media, I'm still rich, but no longer anonymous, and I never expected this kind of exposure in the public eye.
I thought if you just put them in jail, have the violent crimes division.
Cosmetic surgeons explain abdominal sculpting, procedures that make muscles look permanently carved. Then a sparring video resurfaces in which he laughs. Mine are implants, so they don't really move, before redirecting the chat. The internet pounces. Split-screen GIFs compare his glossy core with naturally flexible ones, and hashtags like plastic primal trend into the weekend. He claims the comment was sarcasm, yet screenshots of perfectly symmetrical abs do not help. Even loyal followers struggle to defend a six-pack that seems airbrushed onto real life. The abs rumor, though superficial, matters because it cuts the final thread. If even the muscles are sculpture, what part of the vision remains authentic, if any? Consequences reach his bank account fast. Class action attorneys gather buyers who paid premium prices believing raw organs alone built superhero physiques. A leaked ledger shows monthly enhancement bills larger than luxury car payments, contradicting old marketing promises. Retail chains quietly remove his products, and whispers spread that consumer protection officials are taking a closer look. A spokesperson issues the classic line, "We don't comment on ongoing matters." Investors vanish, a speaking tour is shelved, and smaller creators film apology videos, mailing out refunds to keep their own reputations intact. With each canceled order and refunded commission, another brick falls from the once booming castle. The fallout spills onto mainstream television. Morning shows that rarely cover fitness now feature dietitians explaining why raw organ smoothies cannot replace balanced meals.
Because I'm embarrassed and ashamed, because I lied and I misled a lot. I've stated that this is a complicated as fuck topic, at least to me it is, because before social media, I was rich and anonymous, and after social media, I'm still rich, but no longer anonymous, and I never expected this kind of exposure in the public eye.
But that's not even the worst part.
One network flashes a timeline of every moment he doubled down instead of stepping back, turning the saga into a cautionary lesson for families eating breakfast. Brand partners feel the heat next. Athletic wear companies pull limited edition apparel, citing creative differences. A meal kit service deletes all collaboration photos, leaving broken links like digital tumbleweeds. An energy drink label issues a brief note about integrity macros, and fans post side-by-side screenshots of earlier praise, turning the statement into a meme. Meanwhile, creators who once idolized his workouts pivot fast. Some film thoughtful apologies, admitting they were swept up in spectacle. Science-based channels gain subscribers by posting calm, methodical debunks, proving that steady facts can still win attention. Even academics weigh in. Media scholars observe that the same recommendation algorithms that elevated his extreme persona now amplify the backlash, offering a live lesson in digital literacy. In lecture halls, professors frame the story as proof that charisma without evidence collapses the moment bright light shines on the details. The final straw comes when a well-known charity declines his pledged donation, citing concerns over message alignment. That single rejection, splashed across headlines, signals that goodwill itself has walked away, leaving the once invincible influencer standing alone beneath the spotlight he aimed at himself. Tonight, cool blue light spills from the windows of the Texas mansion he dubbed the Ancestral Fortress. Inside, trophies of record lifts and framed magazine covers line cedar walls that suddenly resemble props on an empty stage. The man who once roared that liver is king now scrolls through parody memes while phone alerts chime like distant alarms. Former classmates whisper that his sons avoid questions about dad's brand, and neighbors note delivery trucks no longer arrive with pallets of powdered pride. Lawsuits creep forward, each discovery request threatening fresh embarrassments. Whether courts fine him or audiences simply forget, one lesson is already etched in digital stone. If a kingdom is built on injections, exaggerations, and the willingness to mislead even family, it takes a single skeptical voice, speaking into a microphone to bring the entire empire down. Across social platforms, a final question lingers. Did the primal dream die, or did it finally wake up?